Okay, good day. This is Reina Solbachong. I am a PhD student in Ateneo de Davao University. Today, I'm going to present about school-based management. Go to the people, learn from them, love them, help them in their work, and when their work is done, the best that they will say about it is, "We did it all by ourselves," from a Chinese proverb. So welcome to my presentation about school-based management. These are the things that I'm going to discuss today. First is what is SBM or school-based management. Second, historical background of SBM, salient features, and frequently asked questions. So SBM, what is it? So it is a strategy to improve education by transferring significant decision-making authority from state and district offices to individual schools. So the concept here is decentralization. SBM provides principals, teachers, students, and parents greater control over the education process by giving them responsibility for decisions about the budget, personnel, and the curriculum through the involvement in these key decisions. So these are the advantages of SBM. First, it improves learning. Second, it gives a voice in key decisions because with decentralization as concept of SBM, it invites different stakeholders in the community. It focuses accountability since there is monitoring and evaluation. It leads creativity in the design of the program since there is shared leadership. Redirects resources and leads to realistic budgeting. Why? Because it helps with decentralization. Schools will be able to address the pressing needs and help to make teaching and learning efficient. It improves morale because there is shared leadership, there is accountability, and there is the distribution of power. It nurtures new leadership at all levels because there are coordinatorship and committees in SBM. Let's try to take a look back with the history of SBM in the Philippines. So it started with Act number 74 in 1901, wherein highly centralized public school systems with all schools are under the public Bureau of Public Schools and Bureau of Private Schools. We have to understand that the context at this time is that it's the conception of public school system being part or being a colony of the United States at that time. And secondly, this is the context at the time is that we have a very small population. Okay, with Executive Order 117 1987 series 1987, this is inconsistent with Education Act of 1982. We call this Reorganization Act that shall be primarily responsible in the formulation, planning, implementation, etc. for formal and non-formal education at all levels and areas. With RA 7160, Local Government Code of 1991 expanded the participation of stakeholders and education. So when we say stakeholders, this is the community. These are the parents, the private sector, and etc. With RA 9155, this is the decentralization of educational governance that is rooted in the principles of shared governance. So, the primary theme here from the evolution of SBM is decentralization. Now let's talk about the first salient feature of SBM. First is active vision. So it is to raise the academic standards of basic education and enhance administrative efficiency. Why it is a distinguishing feature of SBM? Primarily because with SBM, there should be a point or a goal or uh, a future to be expected for what the efforts that were exerted for the fulfillment of the vision. So the vision should be active, and therefore the people who are acting towards the vision are visionaries and are uh, they are so driven by this vision that it makes them passionate and dedicated with their craft, whatever their responsibilities are in each of the school. Next is meaningful decision making, as indicated by the PESS report of 1999. Community control over basic education has expanded as parents and local authorities have assumed an increasingly growing role. Why it becomes meaningful? Primarily because there is shared accountability, because of the sense of ownership. Why there's a sense of ownership? Because other stakeholders that are concerned, or stakeholders like the parents and the private sectors, come together to make the decision making more inclusive and more efficient for everyone. Distribution of power, shared leadership, and cultivating resources. Linkages and collaboration play in ensuring the survival and stability of any school or school system. DepEd through the years has given much and equal attention to close tie-up with community constituents for purposes of resource sharing. Fourth is development of and use of knowledge and skills. The upgrading of teacher competencies and improving their welfare were seen in the EFA, or Education for All, as a fundamental and long-term policy measure to bring about quality basic education. So because there is an expectation for upgrading of the teachers' competencies, therefore the national, regional, and even the division level and district level, there is a constant trainings and seminars for different areas where the teacher will grow and become adept or up to date with what are the new innovative strategies to make education quality and efficient. Collecting and communicating information. DepEd maintains a highly informative and interactive website, that is the www.deped.gov.ph, that allows the users to access information relative to the following: department updates, memoranda, orders, facts and figures, directory, advisories, and of course contracts. So there is an easy access of information. We have the EMIS, so that the teachers need not to wait for the paper memoranda, but they can just easily access it on the web. So real and accurate information will be accessible and readily available for them. Rewards for progress. So the DepEd has existing teacher welfare, such as checklist payroll system, loan, salary increase, and an aggressive move to institutionalize an attractive reward and incentive system for individuals and groups working towards schools' goals. So let's talk about the frequently asked questions about school-based management. So the first question here: how does school-based management affect the roles of the school board? and the superintendent and district office. So the school board continues to establish a clear and unifying vision and to set broad policies for the district and schools. We have to remember that SBM does not change the legal governance systems of schools, and the school boards do not give up authority by sharing authority. The board's role changes little in a conversion to SBM. The superintendent and his or her district staff facilitate the decision made at the school level and provide, take note, technical assistance when a school has difficulty translating the district's vision into high-quality programs. Developing student and staff performance standards and evaluating the schools are also the responsibility of the district staff. The school board continues to establish a clear and unifying vision and to set broad policies for the districts and the schools. District office will generally continue to recruit potential employees, screen job applicants, and maintain information on qualified applicants from which the school fill their vacancies. It may also specify curricular goals, objectives, and expected outcomes while leaving it up to the schools to determine the methods for producing the desired results. So the way it will be done, the school has the liberty to choose what is efficient and relevant and, of course, applicable for them. So how are the budget decisions made? So in most SBM systems, each school is given a lump sum that the school can spend it as it sees fit. As outlined by Joan Spear in 1983, the district office determines the total funds needed by the whole district and determines the district-wide cost and allocates the remaining funds to the individual schools. So how are decisions made at the school level? So most districts create school management councils at each school that includes principal, representative of parents and teachers, and in some cases, other citizens, support staff, and at the secondary level students. The council conducts a needs assessment and develops a plan of action that includes statements of goals and measurable objectives consistent with the school board policies. In some districts, the school management council make most school level decisions. In other districts, the council advises the principal, who then makes the decision. In both cases, the principal has a large role in decision-making process, either as a part of the team or as the final decision maker. Therefore, it is expected that the principal has the technical ability and the discrepancy to make the final judgment. It depends on the structure of the school and how active the other stakeholders are. So what is necessary when implementing school-based management, you may ask? Training in such areas as decision-making, problem-solving, and group dynamics is necessary for all participating staff and community members, especially in the early years of implementation. To meet the new challenges of the job, principals may need additional training in leadership skills. This is actually true and even proven by so many studies that there are many principals all over the world, not just in the Philippines, that are struggling with decision making when it comes to SBM because they are empowered, and therefore with the power that they have, they should be able to have the skills and the knowledge for them to make sound decision and judicious spending of the resources of the school. So why there is a need to assess the school-based management practices? Because it helps to determine the level of SBM practices in the school, and it provides